Now YouTubers, we have it back. Well, not the exactly same one because that was absolutely goose, but this is one it's been repaired, so here it is. That's the plug I was on about. That's where the power wire goes. That's the top bolt for the adjuster and also holds it at the top. And that's the bottom one there, as you can see, straight through it. So there. So that's it, let's get it put in, see if it works. Now sometimes these can be a bit fiddly, especially to get back in, because there's a locking, well there's not a locking pin on this, but it's just a case of lining that up, getting the bolt straight through, because when you put the bolt through, like this, if this end isn't exactly lined up, then it won't go in, so it's just a bit fiddly, but the old nut at the end. Now as you can see, I've put the long bolt straight across. Now the thing I like to do, that's obviously loose by the way, so you can really lift that up and down. I like to put these connections on now. You have connection there and the plug there. So that's what we're going to do next. The plug just simply plugs in, hence the name. Plugs in. And now for the power wire. A little 10mm. Now them two are in, and I'm going to tighten up the 10mm. And obviously the battery at this stage is still disconnected because you don't want it connected yet. Now, that's connected in there. Now, like I said, there's the 10mm and the plug, which you can't quite see, is just where my finger is there. So the next thing we're going to do is tighten the bottom bolt, which is just there, where my hand is, the first bolt we put on. The 14mm, remember? Now, that one's tight. Simple as that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is put the fan belt on. And like I said yesterday, you just lift it off the alternator pulley and it still should be around all the pulleys that it was, should I say. So it makes it a lot easier to put on. Slide it all the way up. Right, so all I've done there, I slid the alternator all the way up to the top and I just put the belt on it. Now the belt's obviously loose, as you can see. Belt's loose, as you can see, look, but it's on. And it's on the two other pulleys. Now, like I said, when I was taking it off, it's good just to you know, take a mental or even a picture or draw it or a mental picture of where the belt actually sits. So now we're just going to adjust it, which is simple again. Now this is the adjuster. So all you do is put the bolt in, obviously hand tight. So as you can see, that bolt is in now, and you can see where my finger is. This is the slider here. This is where we adjust it on. Now next thing you want to do, get some sort of lever bar. It doesn't really matter what you get, as long as it's kind of nice and long. And I'm levering against the engine. You have to be careful of the wires. Make sure it's behind the wires. I'm on the engine on the alternator. As you can see, as I pull that, hopefully you can see the alternator moving there like that. I'll just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. As you can see the bar here, that's the bar. All I'm doing is I put the bar in. Let's just go up to where my hand is. Now you can see the bar there, look, there's my hand. Let's put it back down. Sorry about the shaky camera. Zoom into the bolt again. Now, so that's, like I said, that's all I'm doing. And then you'll know when you get it tight. Again, I'll just get it tight and I'll show you. Now you hold the bar in your hand and you tighten the bolt. So you hold the pressure on the bar, get the right spanner, which normally helps, and you tighten the bolt. Now I hope you could see that. There's the bar, it's in the engine. It's between the engine and the alternator, which you can see my finger is there, it's just slipped. Between the engine and the alternator, and you lever against the engine and the alternator. Make sure there's no wires behind. And the way you know when your fan belt is tight is if you should be able to turn your fan belt 180 degrees like that. Fairly easy. There should be a bit of tension on it, obviously. I can turn that without really any major problems. If you can't turn it, or if you can't turn it that much, it's too tight. If you can turn it more than that, really easy, then it's too loose. That really now, past that point, is beginning to get hard. So I now know that that is properly tensioned. If you put a new fan belt on, after a few weeks or maybe even a month or so, it might start squealing. So then all you do is you just retension it. Simples. Now what we do, take the bar out, connect the battery, tighten the battery, make sure it's down, bangs, never harmed. So right spanner again, tighten the battery. I have to jump start this again and then start it. So I'm going to jump start it with another car, and if you want to know how to do that, watch another video how to jump start a car. I'm going to leave it on for a few minutes, and then when it's charged up we're going to see if this starts and all the lights go out. Fingers crossed, eh? Now let's see if it starts, and also let's see if the lights go out. There's the battery light, but it starts and the exhaust is blowing, so hopefully you can hear me. It starts, the battery light goes out. That's the handbrake light / warning light. So all the lights are out, that's a good sign. But it still doesn't necessarily mean it's actually charging. It just means it's putting enough voltage in to actually turn off the lights. So what we're going to do now is we'll check with the Terminator. Check with the Terminator again. Now last time I was only putting in 11.8 volts if I remember. What's it doing now? And now we have 13.7, which is good. But like I said, what you really want to do is turn everything on. You can. Let's go back to the car. Now, I'm going to turn the heater on. I'm going to turn the lights on. Main beams on, that's wipers, and main beams on. So that's everything on. Lights, lights, heater, main beam. Right, like I said, we'll just turn everything on in the car, the lights, the heater and everything. And let's see what we're reading now. 13.7, nothing wrong with that. We had 11.8 before, and now we've got that. All we've got to need to do now is put the breather back on, or the air intake there, and jobs are done. Now YouTubers, that's it, it's as simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope it's been entertaining. Now you know what to do if you happen to have one of these, you know how to check it. Thumbs up, subscribe to the video, and don't forget, get your hands dirty.